y'all, I'm Bridget Chandler at Athens State University. Welcome to CE 432. This course is Teaching, Career, and Technical Education. So it's a methods course, and it is used to meet the requirements for the Master's Equivalent certification in Technical Education, and it's also required for those of you who may be working on provisional certification. I had to think, we used to call it alternative certification, but for provisional certification. So this course is part of the plan of study, and so it meets lots of different requirements. So many of you will already be teaching, or most of you are probably already teaching in a public school right now in a career and technical program. So welcome to Athens State. Welcome to CE 432. You might have seen someone else, their information in your Blackboard container as far as who is the instructor of the class. We had some schedule changes that have now moved us around where instead of Dr. Jones teaching this class, me, Dr. Chandler, will be teaching this class. So I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you and say hello to everybody. And then kind of go over some things that you will be using and some resources for the course itself. So I'm looking at my screen and kind of going to walk through some things. If you'll notice, on the left-hand side of your Blackboard, there are buttons with announcements, course calendar, information, attendance, and so forth. And most of you have completed your attendance verification, so thank you very much for that. I will get those submitted to the Financial Aid Office just ASAP. But you'll also see the 95 Strategies text button. So if you click there, it will take you to a preview of the text, the preface of the text, and then the PDF of Chapter 1 of the text. So you can go ahead and start using that PDF of Chapter 1 to start with your first assignment if you are just now getting to order the text. So that kind of takes care of any worries that your book won't be here in time to complete assignments or so forth. So, but we are using 95 Strategies. I'm just going to go ahead and jump to that information instead of going to the syllabus first since I was on that screen. So this is your textbook, 95 Strategies for Remodeling Instruction. And this book is obviously not new anymore, but I chose this book several years ago for this particular class just because it's such a simple text and it has so much great information in it that's practical and useful for you as a classroom teacher. And it's written by a business ed teacher, so that automatically made it score high points to me because a fellow career tech person wrote this book. But I really like how-to books and like self-help type books myself, and this book is similar to that, but in a classroom sense. So the way that this book is set up, you'll see it's not a lot of content itself, but lots of ideas and suggestions, and again, that's why I really, really like it. So the first chapter is on pedagogies and context, so like why should we remodel lessons and what does that mean? And it takes you through that, and you're going to do an activity about remodeling instruction. It talks about the PAR model, the PAR model, and this is research that was done in the late 90s by Dr. Gardner and others. Jeff Petty in 2009 did some more research on the present, apply, review model, which is a great model that fits perfectly in career and technical education. And so this chapter just talks about how to chunk your classroom time into present, apply, and review. And so according to the research that was done, that we should spend no more than 35% of our instructional time on the presentation of the topic or of the content. 60% of our instructional time should be allocated for students to practice or apply concepts that we've taught, and then no less than 5% of instructional time is spent on reviewing, learning, or material. So that's just a way to kind of break up and think about how to organize the time that you have with your students. So that's all found in the first chapter. Then you move right into chapter 2 on lesson remodeling. So then it goes into how to. Like first we talk about why should we do it, then how to do it. And there's some different examples for you on remodeled lessons, which are great. Another reason why I love this is because in today's day and age, writing lesson plans, while it's important to know how to write a lesson plan, there are so many lesson plans and resources available to us online through websites such as the ALEX, the Learning Exchange, or their, I believe it's Ohio State, has a tremendous bank of lesson plans that's open and free to the public. But just because you find a lesson plan online and you want to use it doesn't mean that it's going to work perfectly for you and your situation. So maybe remodeling that lesson plan is something that you want to consider. So again, Chapter 2 takes you through how to do the actual remodeling. Then we get to the other most beneficial, or some of the beneficial parts of the book. And then it goes into Chapter 3, Present Strategies. Okay, so this chapter gives you all these different strategies for teaching, techniques, methods, activities that you can use for presenting information. So Chapter 3 is all presentation strategies. Again, why do I like this book? Because it's so simple. So for example, a peer huddle. This is strategy 12, found on page 48. And the way the layout works for this book is it gives you a rationale. So this strategy promotes cooperative learning in small groups. Materials, questions related to the current topic, and the clock or timer. That's all you need. The description of the strategy, students assemble in small groups to form a huddle, assign a number to each group, the teacher calls out a question, and groups have 30 seconds to discuss and come up with an answer. When time is up, the teacher calls out a number, and all twos stand up. So if you call a two, all the twos. The teacher selects one or two twos to respond to the question on behalf of their group. And this is ideal for any topic. Cautions. So they give you cautions for some of the strategies. Ensure that students are clear on the format of the activity and their assigned number so that you don't have problems. Okay, so that's how that one would work. For that's presentation strategies. Then the next chapter, Chapter 4, goes into application strategies. So techniques, methods, activities that you can do when you are having your students apply the material that you've taught. And it gives you lots and lots of strategies. And again, it has the same layout. It gives you a rationale, the materials that you'll need, the description of what you're going to have them do, what it's ideal for, and then some cautions, just so that you'll know what to be aware of if you decide to try that strategy in your classroom. There are just so many good ones. And there's just anything from group activities to individualized things that they can do, game type activities. So very engaging especially for adolescent learners. So just great ideas. All right, then if you keep going, you'll get to Chapter 5. There are lots of application strategies. And in Chapter 5, you're going to find the review strategies, if I can get there. So Chapter 5 gives you strategies and ideas and activities that you can use in your classroom when you're reviewing the material that you've covered. And again, the exact same format. It gives you a strategy number, a name, and then the same information, the rationale, the materials, description, what it's ideal for. Some of them have examples for you, and then the cautions. So just wonderful information for you to have. And if you ever get like me and you're just like, I'm out of ideas, I don't know what else to do, like I've done everything I know to do, I'm just out, I'm just empty, well, then this book will come in and help you. So hopefully you got it for a great price too, because they are available online for just, like under $10, I think. So Appendix A has ideas for grouping students on how to group them, and then Appendix B has Guide to Lesson Remodeling PLCs, and so there's just lots of other information in there. So this is your textbook, but hopefully it will become more than that. Hopefully this will be a resource you can use when you're actually teaching in your classroom and preparing your instruction. So now, back to Blackboard and your assignments and how this course is set up. Your next tab is your Content tab, and when you click on the Content tab, you can see the Distance Learning Contract, your Orientation lesson, and your other lessons, lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an Assignments tab that's there, an Assignments folder, but it's also tabbed on the left-hand side in your buttons. Please notice that there's the folder, and it says within this folder you will find detailed assignments with links to attach your submissions. Before completing assignments, Thoroughly read full lessons, lessons 1 through 5, in the folders, as they collectively and individually correspond to assignments. Many of the links and details with each lesson will provide valuable information to make the assignments much easier. So read each assignment carefully, review all the course provided materials, research outside materials as necessary, ask questions if you need assistance. And then, so when you go inside the assignments folder, you'll see the assignments listed for you. There's a number, assignment 1, and then a title for it, Professional Educator Review. It asks you to research the following topics: qualities of an effective teacher, professionalism for teachers, motivating students in your specific program, and professional growth as a teacher. So the objectives are for you to conduct this mini research and then to compose a paper using the 4 topics as subheadings for your paper. So for the assignment, no more than 3 double-spaced typewritten pages that addresses all 4 of the subheadings. You need 5 references, and you will be able to use the writing rubric to help you to assess your work so that you'll know if you're writing at the level that you should be for this type of college course. Assignment 2, Learning Theories, Learning Styles, and Instructional Strategies Review. And it walks you through the same thing again with what to do, the objectives, and the assessment. Assignment 3 is a project-based activity. And again, it goes through the objectives and the assessment, so what you'll submit. Assignment 4 is about the Alabama College and Career Readiness Standards and the Career Tech Common Core. And it has the objectives and then the assessment of what you're going to submit. Assignment 5, the remodeling of a lesson plan. And again, you will choose a lesson plan from your program area that you're going to remodel, and you're going to remodel it using the directions here. And then the assessment is to attach the lesson planning assignment in the rubric checklist. Use that and then attach it there. Assignment 6, student-centered instruction. This is where it has your what you're going to identify and rate, and then what you would adopt for your classroom, and you submit those items there. All right, so those are your assignments, and you can get to those through the content link or the assignments link. You also have discussion questions. And the first one is for you to introduce yourself, the discussion board, and then you have the 95 Strategies for Improving Instruction, which is your first discussion board forum for you to complete. And then you have Design Down Planning. Okay, so I'm jumping back now to the course calendar. So we've gone over what the tabs are on the left, and there's one for your course calendar. When you click there, you're going to see that a reminder that this is a mini term, and that so it's going to go pretty quickly. So we run from this past Monday, August the 20th, through October the 8th. And your timeline is set up into weeks, what you will be doing for each week, and then your topic, and then any posts, readings, or assignments on your calendar that are due that week. All assignments are due before 11:59 p.m. on the Sunday of the week listed. So week 1, that's coming to an end for us because we are in week 1. Week 1 will end, I'm going to make sure I'm looking at my calendar so I give you the right date, on Sunday, August the 26th. That's when week 1 ends. And so anything that's due during week 1 needs to be submitted before midnight on Sunday the 26th. And then that would move us to week 2, running from August the 27th through September the 2nd. And so if you'll look at your calendar and you'll see how those correspond. So week 1, what's due this week, your attendance verification and your introduction and assignment 1. Then week 2, you have assignment 2 and your first discussion board forum that is due, and assignment 3. Excuse me, I jumped ahead of myself. Then week 3, you're going to have assignment 4 and a discussion board due. Week 4, assignment 5. And then week 5, assignment 6 will be due. And so that's how that works, and you can see that calendar. You can print that calendar out if you would like to assist you. All right, I think I have kind of covered everything. There is the syllabus that's linked for you with the course description, with the outcome statements and professional dispositions information, how this is linked for us, and then also your assignments are listed in the syllabus for you as well. So again, I'm Bridget Chandler. Welcome to Athens State into CE 432. If you have any questions about the course, let me know. Have a wonderful weekend.